All right, what's going on, you guys? Nick here with Nick Strength and Pokemon. I've got a couple of interesting stories to cover with Metazoo in this video. So we're going to start out with the $45,000 one-of-one Topps Chrome Mothman. And this is the original art Mothman from the original Top set, the Top Series 0. This is the kind of, the first sighting artwork, I guess it would be called. So it's the same artwork as that. In my opinion, the best artwork of the three Mothmen that are available in one-of-one from this new Topps Chrome set. Currently listed on eBay by Catch 'Em All Collectibles with a $45,000 buy it now price or best offer. Now, the first Mothman that sold for $30,000 to a guy named Bailey, or Live Pokey Auctions, and that was the alternate art Mothman that was new to this Topps Chrome set. So we've got one sold already for $30,000. This one clearly trying to surpass that and break that record. I think that's a pretty record sale as far as any of the Topps cards are concerned. I don't think any came close. I recently bought a numbered out of 5 black refractor Cryptid Cam Loveland Frogman, and it was $700, and it was signed by Poncho, and it was the first one ever signed. So I thought that was a pretty cool, pretty rare, pretty popular Cryptid, and that was only $700. So a pretty big stretch from that and some of the other one-of-ones that have sold for under $1,000, like $650, $700, $800. A lot of like the lower tier one-of-ones have been selling in that range. Mothman obviously is in kind of a league of his own, and that's why the price is much higher, and that's why the first one went for $30,000. Now, do I think this Mothman will realize $45,000? The answer is I don't think so in the near future. I don't think in the near future the Mothman is going to go for that much. And I think the reason for that is at the immediate release of Topps Chrome, it was really unclear that there were going to be 3 one-of-one Mothmen until like a couple weeks into the release. A lot of people thought one-of-one Mothman, or one-of-one of any beastie for that matter, meant just one, not 3 variations of the artwork, a Cryptid Cam, an alternate art, and a regular art, which would all each have their own one-of-one super refractor. So I think once people found that out, I think the hype for the one-of-one Mothman died down a little bit, especially after that first one sold for $30,000. And I believe the next highest offer for that first one was $10,000. So a pretty significant difference between those two. And I think the $30,000 number was really only because of the Steve Aoki thing, where everyone said that Steve Aoki put out this like $30,000 bounty, or someone on his behalf put it out and then later retracted it. Now the company that guy was representing with Steve Aoki no longer exists. That was where that $30,000 number came from. So the question is, was that $30,000 sale, was that a one-off? Damn, I'm sweating. Was that a one-off? Or is that going to be the floor for these one-of-one Mothmen? Are they all going to be more than that? Now, I think the question is how much hype still remains in these one-of-one Mothmen. I think it's definitely gone down. I think a lot of the cards have really dropped significantly since release. For example, in addition to the numbered out of 5 Frogmen that I bought, I've been buying serialized green refractor Frogmen out of 99, and I've paid about $50 on average per green refractor Frogman numbered out of 99. I just bought a couple serialized green Mothman Cryptid Cams for under $200. So I think the next highest Mothman sale beneath the one-of-one was a numbered out of 5, and that sold for $3,000 at the very beginning of the Topps Chrome release. So it'll be interesting to see if this card does sell and what it sells for. Do I think it'll be close to $40,000? Probably not. Do I think it'll be over $30,000? I think that's entirely possible. Maybe even likely. If it was just one Mothman, if there was no other alternate art one-of-ones, if there was just one-of-one Mothman, I would say I think it could realize $45,000 or maybe even $50,000. But the fact that there's 3, I think, really threw a lot of people off, because I think going into this, a lot of people really thought there's just one-of-one Mothman, as the name implies. And I think once people found out that's not the case, it kind of diminished the chase a little bit. Although it did add some fuel to the fire once that first one was pulled. People realized, well, there's still 2 more out there. There's still the Cryptid Cam, which still has not been pulled. So this one and the alternate art have both been pulled. But the Cryptid Cam, supposedly, at least to the best of our knowledge, is still out there. So let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Will this one-of-one Mothman realize $45,000, or will it go for significantly less than that? Will it go for less than $30,000? I'm interested to see. And I believe the guy that pulled this one-of-one Mothman didn't sell it to Catch 'Em All Collectibles. My understanding is it was consigned to get more eyeballs on the listing. That's the understanding that I have. Now, a couple more Metazoo updates from today from the Metazoo Hour on the Discord. So one thing that a lot of people have been asking about is the Metazoo book that Mike promised. Mike's response to that was simply soon. as you can see here on the screen. Another thing was there's some kind of fighting game that looks to be like a 2D, not a 3D, but a 2D fighting game based on this image here of a Bigfoot. That looks to be the design, which is clearly looking to be like a flat two-dimensional kind of a Game Boy game style fighting game. So that should be interesting. And beyond that, I don't really know what the plans are for that. I don't know if it's going to be a mobile game. I don't know if it's going to be something you can play on your computer, or if it's going to, I would doubt that it's going to be something for like the Switch or the Xbox or PlayStation, since it's 2D. My guess would be some kind of mobile game, which I think would actually be pretty cool. Now, in addition to that, a lot of people are talking about these Genesis NFT cards. I guess those have been running late, and a lot of people have been asking about these cards. Mike announced on the Discord today that those will be released on 7/1, which is July 1st, so coming just around the corner. That's like a week away now, so a lot of people looking forward to that. I myself, I don't have a Genesis NFT. I had one of the NFTs, and it ended up getting my MetaMask account got hacked. I was sharing it with a friend, and it got hacked and stolen, so the only NFT that I ever had, I no longer own. So there's that. So I really have no interest in the NFT stuff anymore, but to you guys that have been waiting, those will be coming on July 1st. Now, another thing that I thought was interesting that I know I was waiting for is this scavenger hunt idea where they're going to be hiding, I guess, promo cards around different locations where a lot of these cryptid sightings have happened, or just important landmarks like the Loveland Castle, for example. I volunteered to do that, but I actually never heard back. The Loveland Castle was one of the places in just different areas where these cryptids were reported to be seen hiding like some kind of Metazoo promo, and people would go find it. Apparently that is still happening. Now, I first heard about this, I feel like over a year ago, so I didn't know if they were going to still go through with this idea, but it looks like they are according to this answer here. So I'm looking forward to that. Now, another question that was asked on this Discord that I found to be interesting, and that was, will the native set have its own big box release? The answer to that question apparently being yes. Another thing that I thought was interesting, the gold, silver, and bronze tickets that can be found in Wilderness, those redeemable secret rare promo, well, secret rares, we won't call them promo cards. The question was, is there a specific product where those were more heavily inserted, or a specific product where I guess you could only find those? And the answer to that question was that the distribution of those secret rare cards is equal across all SKUs, which is the first time we've got that question really, I think, definitively answered. So I think that was an interesting point as well. Now, in addition to that, the talk about this Arby's Kids Meal Metazoo collab. So we got some more answers on that. So in the video that I posted last week, which I think is the last video I uploaded on this channel, I talked about it a little bit, and Mike responded in the comment section of that video and said to elevate your expectations, and that those UFO packs used in the promotional picture that we all saw, and I think a lot of us got a little bit discouraged by seeing, those were just used for that promotional picture, and that UFO is not going to be a part of this release. And he further clarified that in the Discord, where he said it will be its own unique set. So probably a set of promos specifically for Arby's, which I think was what a lot of people were hoping for, to have Arby's promos, hopefully with that Arby's logo stamped down in the corner. So this, I think, makes it a little bit more exciting. People will try to collect all the promos, and I think that makes this a much more exciting collaboration than the prospect of potentially just receiving a UFO pack, which arguably was the least popular set of all the releases. And, you know, I think a lot of people thought, hey, that might be a good, cheap, easy way for them to dump a lot of UFO, is doing this this Arbys collab. But apparently that's not the case. So I'm excited for that, looking forward to that collab. I think that'll be pretty cool. So furthermore, I think a lot of people were still waiting for their binders, their native and seance binders. I personally, mine were both shipped, and I received both of them last week. So if you guys have not yet received your binder, I can confirm they have started shipping, and I have received them. My friend received his as well. So I know that people are getting them. They are shipping. So if yours hasn't shipped yet and you're still waiting on it, they are officially produced and shipping, so it shouldn't be long until you received yours. If you ordered around the same time I did, I'm assuming they're going in order that the orders came in. Now, finally, I know a lot of people were asking me about my dog Beans. You might have seen my post on Instagram or Facebook. My dog, my Yorkie, he's in the hospital right now. He has what's called a liver shunt, and he had to have surgery for that. It got bumped up to this week. He's currently out of surgery. He's on his second night stay in the intensive care unit of that animal hospital. The surgery was successful. He had what was called a extra hepatic liver shunt, which apparently is the best possible kind of liver shunt. If you're going to get one, it's like the most operable with the best outcomes and the least percentage of risk. So from what I heard, with a liver shunt, if you just treat it with medicine, it doesn't go away. It's essentially going to progress until it kills your dog. And Beans being so young, he's only 18 months old, give or take. He's very young, and the life expectancy after diagnosis of a liver shunt is 2 months to 2 years. And Beans has had symptoms of this liver shunt for a while now. So realistically, he probably wouldn't make it to 3 years old if I did not get this surgical intervention. It was very expensive. I was blown away by how expensive it was. It was thousands of dollars to get this surgery. So it was pretty, I was shocked that it was as expensive as it was, but it was successful. While they were in there, they also removed his testicles. He had one that was cryptorchid is what it's called. It's kind of stuck up in his abdomen, so that they go up and remove that one, and then the one that was already descended. Then also they found that he had bladder stones in his bladder, so they went in and removed that as well. So kind of had a three birds with one stone type of surgery, and they weren't expecting the bladder stones going into the surgery, so I'm sure when I go tomorrow to pick them up, that's going to be some additional cost. But for those of you that are asking, Beans is doing well. I went to visit him today, and I think I'll be taking him home tomorrow. So that's going to wrap it up for the Metazoo video today, guys. I hope you enjoyed it. Make sure you like and subscribe, all that good stuff. Nick Strength and Pokemon signing out.